the Survivor fan of me is like geeking out. You were amazing. I loved it.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Ghosted, where we turn the quiet of grief into stories worth shouting. Today I'm here with
Kristina Mills from Survivor 49.
Hi, Kristina. So happy to have you
Yeah.
here.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, what an honor.
Yeah.
All right, Kristina, who ghosted you?
My mother, of all people, the person that you need your entire life, right?
How dare she?
How dare she? Yes, my mom. She ghosted me right when I was being a young mom myself.
Oh, really?
Or mom to young kids.
Yeah. What was her name?
Her name was Karen.
Karen.
And not the bad
No,
one.
that's
not the bad
my
one.
mom's name, so I know there's good Karens out there.
There's some good Karens.
Yeah. How long has it been?
It has been almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years, April 27th.
Wow. When you were filming Survivor, how many years was it?
So I was actually out there on her third year death anniversary. So there was the challenge when we swapped into the two groups, the two tribes, and we had to build like that 20-foot tower.
Yes.
Yep. And that was actually filmed on the day of her third year death anniversary. And so that's why I'm the person that's like kicking it, because everyone's like, do it for your mom today. And yeah.
That.
So it was actually a beautiful day out there.
That's so wonderful, and that you had everyone. Do you know the days? Like, how did you know that was the day? Is that a silly question?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have phones or clocks.
No, not at all. But you know when you started the game, and then we would put like little marks in the trees, and you just kind of keep up with it that way.
No way.
We knew. Yeah. Yep.
How was that, being secluded on an island with, strangers that become family, right? But like, really, the biggest milestone in 3 years is still so recent into it. What was that like?
It's very recent, and I'm not gonna lie, I was super nervous because I knew it was a chance that I would be out there on her death anniversary if I made it far enough. And honestly, the first year and the second year were not good. They were not good at all. I mean, we were talking tears on the side of the road, not good.
Yeah.
And I kind of expected the same thing for year 3, and it was so opposite. It was so peaceful. I woke up that morning. Yeah, I woke up that morning, and we all sleep on the beach. At least our season did. We slept on the beach. And so we woke up, and you saw like, the beautiful sunrise and everything. And I started getting in my feelings. I started crying. And the rest of the cast, they knew what was going on that day. And they all, as they like woke up, they saw me crying, and they all like started giving me a hug. We did this really big group hug, and they were like, today is going to be about like honoring your mom in the best possible way. We're going to go out there and win it. And so honestly, it was the first year where it was actually really beautiful. And the only tears that I had were like happy tears. Like just releasing a lot of things that day.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine being, regardless of the death of it all, just being out there is probably highly emotional. You're not eating, you're not sleeping. And then that day on top of it, but the fact that you had like such a community of people is so beautiful, and that like they all knew what day it was.
Yeah, and it really felt kind of like an out of the game moment where people were genuinely just there for me. I didn't have to worry about like, are they scheming? Are they, like, are they being fake with me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they honestly were just so genuinely there for me. So everybody that was on that tribe swap, like we are bonded for life.
Oh, I love that. I feel like that's what we get, like the sense of watching as fans. Like you guys truly are, regardless of the game, like bonded in so many ways.
Exactly.
I know you said that you had known, okay, like there's a chance if I make it far enough that I'll be there on that day. But did you think about how you wanted to honor her or talk about her? Like obviously you're living with these people, it's going to naturally come up, but knowing that it's being filmed and there's all these like emotions attached to being on Survivor regardless of death.
Now as far as the emotional side, I was myself the entire time.
Oh, I love
it's very hard not to be it's very hard not to be your authentic self. So I didn't go in there with a plan like, okay, I'm not gonna cry, or if I do cry, I'm gonna like be away from people. Like I just kind of let the day naturally, however I was going to respond to the day is how I responded. I did that day though. I wanted to do something in terms of kind of, it was like something for myself. I really wanted to go out there and do something symbolic and like release, I wanted to symbolically release my grief into the ocean. Like, the ocean is my happy place. I was going on the show to connect with my mom. Previous to this, I hadn't really heard from her. And I thought that I would be able to take this opportunity of being on the show to connect with her, because it was the first time that I would be like around, around no one, not around the kids, not around the husband, like the family. Like, I was going to have to be by myself. And so I really wanted to focus on connecting with her. So that's the only thing I had planned that day, was to do kind of like this symbolic thing for myself. And I got to do that, and it was really beautiful. I'm actually happy it didn't make the show, because it's something like a core memory that I'm going to have. None of the cast saw anything what I did. It was just like my own little like letting her go, or letting the grief go.
That's so beautiful.
I did have that plan, and I did get to do that, and it was very powerful for me.
I'm so happy for you that you got to have that moment. How special. And I think as like people who've lost someone, like I lost my dad when I was young, just like that connection to your parent will never go away. But like finding moments like that to like honor them or connect, or like let parts of it go, like it'll never go away, but there's parts of it that like in yourself, and that's so wonderful. And what, you're
so
Fiji, like what a beautiful place to be.
And we got to eat that day. We won the reward. Something that obviously didn't make the show either is I had the worst leg cramps you could ever imagine. Yes, like I'd already don't really drink water that much, and so to be like so hot, those first few days were ridiculously hot. Okay, and I barely was drinking water, and so I know I really don't even like water on a regular day, so I was trying, but
Fiji.
I know. I was getting leg cramps so bad, like every single night. And then the reward that we won was some fruit, and we got bananas. And I was like, this is my mom looking out for all these cramps that I
Karen
had.
was there that day.
She was there that day. I was like, thank you for the banana. And I know it sounds so lame now, but
No.
like, it was really just all those like small signs. Like, okay, I got a banana and I've been cramping for 7 days. Like, thank you, Mom.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was there with you the whole time. Like there was no
for sure. No, if you even watch the journey, then there's no doubt that she was with me.
And like, I feel like obviously Survivor is so much skill, but there's also a level of like luck. Who do you get connected with? How does this work? And like Karen was pulling through. I mean, look how far you made it. Like,
oh my gosh. I wear my necklace now, but this was kind of like my connection to her and my kids. And you will see every, like me driving up on the boats, for the first marooning challenge or before competitions, I would always just like, and so that was me, like me telling her like, hey, I need you to look out for me on this before, tribe swaps, before we grabbed anything, I'd be like, come on. And so the fact that Survivor for sure is a lot of luck. And if you look at the tribe swaps, I was always in a majority. I never, And I was like, thank you for looking out, Mom.
I do the same with my dad. I'm like, come on, Dad, pull through here. And so like, I would do the same if I was on the show, being like, Dad, step up to the plate right now.
Like, come on now. You know it's insane.
Yeah. I love that. You're allowed to wear like jewelry and things.
I mean, you get a few items.
Yeah.
It has to be approved, obviously, but my necklace was one thing that was approved. So, and I've actually still never taken it off. It's so weird.
Yeah. What is it?
Tarnished and all. It's her birthstone, and then it's my kids' initials on there.
Oh my God,
and then I also have a bracelet that I wore out there. And you would see me kind of playing with that too, and that's her birthstone.
When's her birthday?
October 3rd. If anyone's watching Mean Girls, it's like,
oh my God, I'll never forget
that.
My dad's also an October baby.
Oh, fun. Okay.
October.
It's a good time.
It is. If you're comfortable sharing, back to more about Karen, how did she pass?
So she, in 2021, around 2021 when we figured it out, she started being addicted to alcohol and to pain pills, and ultimately it was a fentanyl overdose that took her.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah,
I think. No, sorry. Continue. Did I cut you off?
No, I was just gonna say that. I mean, that's one of the things that I really wanted to share, and that's why I'm really open about it, is because my mom is someone who is not the stereotypical
Mm-hmm.
person that would, pass away from a fentanyl overdose. And I really wanted to get out there that there shouldn't be a stereotype on who addiction
Mm-hmm.
affects. Like, there's not just one target audience. It can affect so many people. And so my mom was a preacher. She had her PhD. She's an author. She was very involved in her sorority, like so many friends. She's still married to my husband. I mean, to not my husband. She's married to, no, married to my dad.
You kill me.
Like, yeah, married to my dad for, up until her death, like happy marriage. My dad is like the most in love person when it came to her. And so it's like this person that you see, you're like, how? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you fall into addiction? You have two new grandbabies that you love spending time with.
Yeah.
And you want to see them grow up. So like, how did you still die this way? Like, it just doesn't, like it doesn't make sense on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what addiction is. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't pick and choose,
No.
and it can affect anyone. And so I'm very like honored to share her story because I want other people to just be aware.
I'm so honored to get to learn about her. Not
Yeah.
only because I think that talking about her lets her live, but other people
Mm-hmm.
listening to this, they get to hear themselves in you. And I think
Yeah.
with suicide, drugs, alcohol, those type
Mm-hmm.
of death just carry so much stigma. But to your
They do.
point, there's still a disease, there's still an illness, they still like don't
Mm-hmm.
discriminate on who they affect. And so I think hearing
Exactly.
someone with a platform be able to talk about this and say like this is how my mom died, and like going on a show with millions of viewers and being
Mm-hmm.
honest, like how beautiful. And it doesn't affect your relationship with your mom, it just is a fact.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what the show helped me with as well, is because for, those 3 years post death, I really struggled with like, is this what my mom is being remembered for? So when I
Mm,
thought about my mom, it was always like those last, few years where, she was literally half asleep, and she picked
yeah.
my son up, and he was 3 months old, and she didn't even realize that she was holding him.
Mm,
And so it's things like that where I was like, this is when I thought of her, those would be the memories. It would be how, I would call her and I could automatically just hear in her voice that she was high, or
mhm.
that it was, like just all these different things,
Yeah.
and how she tried to hide it. And those were my memories for 3 years. And so going on the show, I let go of just so much. And I remembered that that's not what she was defined by.
Yep.
There were, 32, 33 more years of my life that I had with her. And that's what I want to really remember. That's what I want my kids to know about her. The lady who was on the Price is Right. No, yeah, Price is Right 2 times.
She was.
Like, she was. She got to go with Bob Barker and with Drew Carey.
Stop.
Drew, not Carey, whoever the new one, whoever the new
Yeah.
host is. Yeah. Like, she won both times. Like, the woman
Okay,
who
girl.
like chased roller coasters, the one who like just did all these big, beautiful things. And I'm like, hey, we're not going to let those last 2 years
Mm-hmm.
of addiction define her. And those are not going to be your memories anymore. And that's really what I got from the show, is like remembering what she really was about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I think when I think about death, like we often like
Mm-hmm.
memorialize people, but then we
Yeah.
also think about like if they die in certain ways, like that's the memory we hold on to. Like every person
Mm-hmm.
is complex. Like even if they died of cancer or a heart attack, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean they didn't fuck up and do things certain times. And like just because that's how your mom died doesn't mean that that was like the totality of her as a human being.
Exactly. That was a piece.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a piece. And it's something that, we can learn from when my kids are old enough. Obviously, we're going to have a talk about, how their granny actually passed, and being careful of doing, certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, that's not what the focus is,
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's all these other years, and that's what I really want them to remember.
Yeah, and like she raised you into who you are, and so there's all of
Oh,
that.
100%. I'm like, watching the show back, the craziest thing is the mannerisms. Like,
You
every
do the
time I
same.
saw myself, yes, every single time. Because, obviously, this was beautiful that I got to watch myself back. Beautiful, maybe a
That
curse.
is
I don't know.
crazy. No, that is so when you put it that way. You're like, oh, I didn't know I did that.
Yeah, like, I didn't know so many mannerisms. And, like, every time you all saw me make a face or say certain things or just, like, kind of look lost or crazy, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my mom. Oh my God, I look like my mom. Oh my God.
Karen's in the room with us.
She's in the room. I was like, oh my God, I think I'm a twin now.
Oh my God. Have you always known you were a lot
crazy.
like her?
Oh, for sure. She's like my grandmother is the same way. My mom, me, I'm even seeing like traces of, the same personality and traits in my daughter, and she's only 6.
Oh my
So
God.
we are like, we're very much all kind of the same people. We're just super strong-willed. We are like the nicest humans, but like if you want to be a bitch to us, like we will be a bitch even more to you.
Hell yeah.
So my mom used to say, like, if you want to be a bitch, I can be a bigger bitch. And so
Okay, bye-bye.
I know she's crazy, but I'm like, okay, yep, that's my mom. That's my mom. And so even in the strategy stuff, like my mom was a super strategy, manipulation, whatever you want to call it.
One in the same.
Same kind of boat, but she she had a way of like making people do exactly what she wanted them to do. And so like in my regular life out on Survivor, I was just kind of like, okay, I see this as a plus. Like this is a strength she's given me, and maybe they didn't show all the things and all the moves, obviously that I made out there, but like I was like, okay, I got this.
I love that so much. And like having, I don't know, like you get to memorialize her on a show forever, kind of. And even if people don't recognize it, that like this is like your mom with you, like you get to know like those are parts of her that carried me through on like this national stage of like grit and will and intelligence and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it is truly a gift to have that as a memory. And then even my kids, when they're older and they're in a different stage of their life, like they still get to watch it back and see, my mom with me and see all the things and all the adventurous and the crazy side, the, like you said, the grit, the strategy part, like my kids get to watch that back at all stages of their life and they get to see that. And so it's such a gift.
Yeah. What a privilege.
Yeah.
Going out there, like I know you talked a little bit about your grief and obviously like the 3-year anniversary and what you got to do with your mom, but did it bring up stuff about your grief that you didn't expect?
Yeah, it brought up a lot of or at least I had to finally deal with a lot of guilt that I was facing.
Yeah.
And it really like, in your day-to-day life, you don't have time to think about grief. Like you don't have time to really just like sit with stuff, especially if, mom working, spouse, like all these things. And I really got to sit with the guilt that I had. I was like, it's the what ifs, like, well, what if the family didn't like my mom was master manipulator. So she was able to like split the family so that each side was fighting. So no one was looking at her. And I'm like, what happens if we didn't do that? What happens if like, instead of, I kind of gave some space between me and my mom because it was affecting my mental health.
Yeah,
and I was like, what happens if I didn't do that? What if I was the person that was there for her every day? What if I like made her come to Oklahoma because they're all in Houston. I was born and raised there. And I was like, what if I just like made her come to Oklahoma and, do a program or be with us? Like, it was just kind of all these what ifs, and I had a lot of guilt about it, and going out there really made me like deal with that. And and what I think at the end of the day, what I realized is that there was nothing I could have done.
Yep.
Because ultimately, like it comes down to the person, and if they want to get better, or I don't say want to get better because it is a disease, but like they have to make a conscious effort that they're going to put in the hard work and they're going to, do everything. And I can make you go to, I can drive you to rehab, but I can't make you stay or make you go through the program or, and so, so I really had to, that show really helped me come to terms with that.
I love that. How special. Did you have, or do you still have any resentment towards her in that relationship towards the end of her life?
No, I don't. Yeah. I think, in terms of like resenting her, no. I think it sucks that she kind of left me to raise 2 kids.
Yeah, how dare she?
I was like, how dare you? Because you're the person that I vented to about things. Even with
Right.
her being in Houston, like my kids intimately knew my mom. Like as
Oh,
granny, we were there once a month. Me and my husband, we left and went to a bowl game 6 weeks after my daughter was born. Like
I love
we
that.
left, yeah, like we left her with we flew down to Houston, left her with my mom, and then we were off, to a OU playoff game. But so
I love
it
that.
was, so I'm kind of, it's like that. Now I kind of laugh about it when I'm like
Hmm.
looking for a babysitter or I'm having to pay for, different things. I'm like, how dare you? Like I could have
Yeah,
had
she owes
free,
you a lot.
I could have had free daycare. Honestly, me and my husband, like we probably wouldn't have even had kids if you weren't asking for them so much, like asking for grandbabies. And so we're just like,
That's
so
so
it's more
funny.
like that, where it's kind of a joke with her now, which
Yeah,
was kind of our relationship too, was
I love
like,
that.
being sarcastic and joking around with each other. So it's more that than it is any type of resentment.
I love that. Do your
Yeah.
kids, like, obviously they recognize that she's gone? Do they like talk about her
Hmm.
at all? And how is that conversation?
Yeah, it's actually kind of, I'm not say freaky, but it's also signs that she's like intimately still present, even if she's not
Hmm.
here in the physical. There was one year, it was her birthday. We hadn't talked about my mom's birthday coming up, like nothing.
Hmm.
And I got the kids up for school and they were like, it's Granny's birthday. And I was like, how do you know that? Like, or they like started talking about her and I'm like, how did that? Okay.
They go,
And
it's
so
Mean Girls
they,
Day, Mom.
yeah, like we know this obviously at five, ages 5 and 6,
That's
but
crazy.
yeah, but like, so there's so many signs. They, sometimes look up to heaven and like talk to Granny or say, hey, Granny. We have like a little book with pictures and memories from when they were kids or when they were like, younger, even younger. They're kids now. But, and so we've kept her memory very much alive, to the point where they know exactly who she is.
That's so sweet. Because I think
Hmm.
about that all the time. My brother just had a kid, and obviously he
Aw.
didn't get to like meet my dad. So, like,
Yeah.
how do we keep his memory alive? And like, but it's so
Hmm.
special that your kids got to have her so close to them in their life.
They did, and they lost her. I think they were 2 and 3 when she passed, but
Hmm.
they still. I don't know if it's memories from talking about the memories or if they
Hmm.
actually
Yeah,
remember. But that is still very much their grandmother. And again, they don't know exactly how she passed. They just know that
right.
she's away right now, and she's always looking out for us. But eventually, we'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wow. Parenthood and having to have that conversation will be a fun one.
Oh gosh, I know. Oh, on top of every other conversation you have to
Yeah,
have with
right?
them.
As if being a parent is so easy.
I know.
How do you honor
And
her?
I'm like, and I don't have her to talk about, like, what am I supposed to
Yeah, you're like,
do?
Mom, how do I tell them that you died from
Yeah, like,
fentanyl?
yeah, like, what am I supposed to do? But,
Yeah,
we'll
that's
get
the
through it.
moments
We'll
you want to
cross
know.
that bridge. We will cross that bridge.
Yeah. How do you like honor her now?
Um, I mean, doing things like this, talking
Hmm.
about her. Again, I was blessed on the show that they even showed the footage because I definitely went in knowing that not everything gets shown.
Right, of course.
That they could have not mentioned my mom at all and not shown any of that. But I'm glad they did. But it's honestly just not hiding what happened.
Mm.
And I think in the African American culture, I feel like we have a tendency to not want to talk about the things that are stigmatized.
Mm.
And like we'll just be like, oh, they passed away, or like it was this or that, but we don't actually just come out and say like, nope, she was an addict and she died from a fentanyl overdose. And so for me, it's honestly like talking and telling people that's the way that I remember her, is like always sharing her story. And that's on the trying to like help and encourage other people. But then on just like outside of that, we talked about how I went on the show and like I connected with the part of her that was adventurous and like all these other things. And that's how I keep her memory alive as well, is not being stuck in this, like being stuck in the grief anymore. Cause that's what I was doing. I was doing, I was just being stuck and like just not. I mean, my kids even saw my face half the time. They'd be like, Mom, why are you always so sad, and so now I feel like the way I like honor her is just living my life to the fullest every single day, like showing the adventurous side, like not taking no for an answer, like just like low key just living my best life and
I
letting my
love
kids
it.
see that.
I mean, I think that's what we should all do.
Yeah, like I want my kids to see the healthy version, adventurous fun, like I mean genuinely just living my best life.
Kristina, I think you're doing a good job at it.
I'm trying. I'm
Girl,
trying.
you are.
I still have my days, but there is nothing like before I was on the show.
Really?
It was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
No way. I
It
would
was. Oh, it was bad. I was on anxiety medicine. I was like, I mean, I was just stuck. So I was very much in anxiety and depression, like for sure. And so I'm happy that my kids, like, they don't have that version of me anymore.
That's so wonderful that the show helped you get that. I always think about that because, like, I struggle with anxiety. Like, I'm on anxiety meds. I'm like, if I went on a show like that, like, could I handle it? But I'm like, of course. But, like, can you? I don't know. Like,
I was like,
I'm alone with my
you?
thoughts on a, excuse my language, fucking island for that long? My thoughts? No.
Oh no, I was very nervous about being out there, and I had weaned off my medicine like 2-3 months before the show had even started, or before we, went.
Are you allowed to be on meds?
You know, honestly, I don't really know the answer, so don't quote me. I think I just kind of assumed that the answer would be no, so I weaned myself.
So you preemptively did it.
So I don't actually know. I went in and was like, nope, I don't want anything like ruining my chances. So I actually don't know at all. But I still was like, but just in case, I was like, nope, I'll be good. So I was really nervous about like anxiety attacks. Like I was like, okay, you're going to put your bag on you and you're going to, like I had all these, I was like, you're going to make someone sit on you. You're going to like do all these things. Like I had all these like techniques that I was like planning for if I had an anxiety attack out there. And actually it is the calmest I've ever been.
No way.
It was, I had, even with the stress, even with not eating it, not sleeping and like people, playing a game and like you can't trust anyone. I was so calm out there.
Why do you think that is?
Like, I really don't know. I don't know if it was just being in the, like by the water, which is like a very calm place for, it's a very calm feeling for me being by the ocean, or just like not having to be defined by anything. Like, I feel like, I'm always like, I'm being a mom right now. Okay, now I'm at work helping my students. Okay, now I'm like taking care of my crazy dog. Like, I'm always kind of running around. And out there, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I don't have anything to do but to focus on myself and me trying to win $1 million.
Yeah, right? Casual.
Yeah, just whatever. So I think it was honestly just not like having to have all those other outside factors affecting me. And I was just, zero anxiety the entire time.
I love that so much for you. And do you think that's carried over? No, I get so, yeah, for sure.
I'm still not on my medication. I'm very proud of that. And side note, if you need to be on medication, like be on medication, okay? Very much an advocate for it. So I'm not saying don't like try to run off or anything. But for me, I just didn't like the way the medicine made me personally feel. Because I do have a lot of emotions and it felt weird for me to just be like, I'm an emotional girl too. I get it. Yeah, I was like, it was weird for me. And so, I still haven't had to take them, but it's a little bit.
I can imagine.
Just a little bit.
Oh my God, you tell me. That's so funny. Wait, I have to ask because you mentioned not eating, not sleeping. You said you slept on the beach. What was sleeping like?
Oh my gosh.
Because as a girl who loves 8 hours a day in my bed.
No, we used to judge if we got even like maybe an hour of sleep if we had a dream. I'd be like, was I able to dream even a little bit? Because for whatever reason, your bladder is very active. Like, I don't understand. What? You're not eating or drinking anything, but like everyone is up like 4 or 5 times during the night and you're like, it's pitch black out there and you're having to like run and find some leaves to squat in real quick, and then like if you even try to maybe get in a deep sleep, then there's some kind of critter or creature that's gonna climb on you. Ugh. Oh yeah, first the crabs are like, they never want to come out in the daytime when you're trying to catch them to eat, right, when but like hungry. At nighttime they are like, you'll wake up and there's one like right there.
That happened to you?
They would only be in my feet, but one of my castmates, they did wake up and it was just like one
No.
right here. So, but yeah, so sleep like just didn't exist out there, and I don't get hangry. I am a special case. I do not get hangry. I was perfectly fine with starving. The sleep is why my attitude started changing.
That would be me. I would get quiet and bitchy,
Yep.
honestly.
Yep. I was like, and then we want a hammock, and I was like, oh, at least I'll get some good sleep. But then you don't want to be the selfish person that's always in the hammock. So I'd be like, okay. So I was like, okay, rotating. Like I was very aware, like, how much time are you in the hammock? Okay, has everyone had a chance? Okay, now it's my turn again. Like,
yeah, no, that would be me. But like my
Yeah.
like, I feel like you would already just be like such a wonderfully exhilarating, exciting, like the best emotions, but then also some of the worst. And then if I'm not sleeping, no, the sleeping thing is crazy.
Yeah, there was one point where I was like, I just don't want to talk to anyone. Like, I just, and I know, like, yeah, and looking back, I'm like, it's because you were sleepy. You literally went 24 days without sleeping.
I wonder how much, like, collectively you slept.
I mean, probably an hour a night. If we're just being honest, like, a deep sleep, which is kind of crazy because the sun, when it goes down, I think on camera, it looks like we could see at night. You can't.
It's like black.
Like, it is black. And there's only one camera operator out there, and they have this
at
like
night?
camera with a little, there's only like one person at night, and they like have this like small like red light maybe. So like,
oh my God, they must be so bored.
I think they loved when I had my leg cramps.
Like the best happening.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh my gosh. And I was like, it's a leg cramp, people. But it really is like pitch black out there. And so we don't know time at all, but I would say that you're basically like sleep from maybe 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. But like,
you're not actually
sleep. Yeah. You're not
so
comfortable
crazy.
at all. Yeah.
That is wild.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
and it's cold. It's
it?
As hot as it is in the daytime, it's very cold at night.
Yeah, the sleep is always a thing I work. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing I wonder about, well, because now I have to ask my survivor question.
Yeah, go for it.
I swear. So, okay, the looking for idols things. Like, obviously, people go to the bathroom. They have to do confessionals. Like, how do you know, like, when someone's gone because they're looking for idols or they're game playing versus, like, they're being told they have to go? Or, like, can't you be like,
everyone knows.
Okay,
there's a rule that if you're actually using the restroom, like you have to go to the bathroom and come back. Like there's like
I'd be like, I have to go to the bathroom.
No, you would actually like that is a rule. Like that's breaking a rule.
Got it. That's literally.
So you're like you are going to the restroom. Like if people are talking and doing their confessionals, like you're like there's only certain areas that you could even go and look, and so you 100%.
How do you even know? Like, but then is the island free reign, or they're like, this is your barrier, like this is your home?
It's free reign, but there's limits too.
Okay.
So and that's like for safety purposes. It's like okay, well this rock with all of this cliff can't go over there, or they may have like some like a crew staging area or something. They're like can't go there, but you for the most part, I mean, the parts that are open is free reign. You got it.
I love that. Okay, and then I have to ask about Jeff. Like, I feel like you guys really bonded.
That's my guy. That's my guy. My Uncle Jay.
Uncle Jay.
People hated the Uncle Jay, but
wait, what? I love it.
Oh, I mean, it's just what I call him. It's like not even a thing. I called him that through my whole casting process. Like, I don't even realize that I'm saying it half the time. But yeah, he is absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. He was so supportive, like of everything. Even when you all saw me on my crash out, Girl,
I would crash out on day 2 probably.
I was like, no, when I had my crash out and it was the whole Beam episode, he was so, he took a break from the game. And he really talked me through that moment, because if you see me every single challenge, we would go in and I would be like smiling and I would just, we're doing chants like Hina, we're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's what he was used to. And then on that challenge, like I came in and I was like, nope. Like, I just didn't have it in me. I didn't want to do a group challenge. Like, and he saw that. And then him just like talking me through the grief that I was feeling in that moment and missing her. That's my guy. Like, that's my guy.
I love that so much. Uncle Jay.
He is Uncle Jay. He is amazing.
When you applied, had your mom already passed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know like
she
the
did.
timeline from like application to getting on, but she was already dead. Yeah.
Yeah, she had already passed. And I, through the process, obviously I talked about her, but I think what they loved is that I didn't use it as like a sob story. And I don't want to make that sound like, you know,
No, yeah.
any kind of way. I wasn't a victim of my mom passing ever. And I've never actually felt that way. But I went out there and I was like, hey, I'm doing this because my mom was all these things and I've lost that. And I want to connect with her and I want to go out and play this game in her honor. And that's how I talked about her, you know, in the game, through the process, everything. Like, I went out there with a mission that like I was doing this in her honor.
I love that so much. And I feel like even just getting to talk to you and watching you on the show, like we all get to learn bits and pieces of Karen.
You do. Like all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, and that's just human.
She was very human too. So I think you guys really got to see kind of like you said, all sides of her, all facets of her through me.
What was your favorite part?
Yeah. Like in terms of her, or just like
and her
out there.
both.
Honestly, I know. In terms of like, it's really hard. Like, which moment was like the most beautiful moment? I think was her death anniversary, just because that day from start to finish, like it was so beautiful. Like it was just it was so beautiful. Like waking up, having my cast there, saying we're gonna do it for her. Like first time that in the new era that we were in 2 tribes and competing in this like epic challenge. And like I was a cheerleader in high school and my mom is the reason I was even a cheerleader. Like she made me do it. She made me try out for it. So, and like it came into play. Like we ended up having to use skills, like cheerleading skills to get that tower down. And then I got to kick it and like I fell and she was clumsy. And so it was just like so many different things. Got to eat my banana. There was like just so many different things in that day. And at the end of the day, it actually, I know this sounds crazy, but it felt like a weight had been on me for, since she passed, honestly. Literally this invisible weight. Like it just felt tight. And at the end of the day, like I literally let her go. Like, like I let the guilt and everything, like I let it go and it literally felt like I was just light again. And so the memory of that day was honestly like one of my favorites. But then like just a personal thing, like a personal growth that I've taken outside of my life is that beam moment. To have to like, I was not in a good place that day. I was not in a good place at all. And then we had to run a challenge and like getting myself back up on that beam and like literally feeling like she was there with me, like championing me on and realizing that like if I'm having a hard moment, I can bring myself out of it. I think that was the most like impactful, even if the other day was my favorite.
I love that so much. And I mean, they're both so important. What was your favorite part about your mom, like when she was alive and who she was?
Everyone wanted to be around her. Like we're talking life of the party. Like, I mean, anytime you would be around her, especially her and my aunt together, oh my gosh. Like, those laughs where you can't control it and it's coming from like the pit of your stomach and you guys are slapping each other because you're laughing so hard. That was, I mean, anytime we were with my mom, like you would have that moment. And so that's just kind of how she was. She was the person that walks in the room and like everybody knows she's there. And so just like, yeah, that's always going to be my favorite moments. It's the moments that I just think about and I just start, cracking up, laughing. My husband, the first time he even met my family was like Thanksgiving. And after one day with my mom, he was like, I'm sold. He's like, well, this is my family now.
I love that.
And he will tell you that. He literally was like, okay, we're running to the car right now, racing who gets to be in the front seat. And he's just like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right. And So like that's just the person that she was. That every single person around her, like they just wanted her to be in their life because she brought that energy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I end every interview this way, and I feel like you've kind of
Okay.
said it, but I always ask, what was the loudest lesson that she left behind?
Oh my gosh, I know there's so many.
Are you right?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Um, oh my gosh. I'm like, which one is the loudest to me? Uh,
There could be multiple.
okay, there's one that really sticks out that I've noticed I've gotten from her a lot is that we can't let circumstances affect us having to still live. And so like when bad things would happen, she would just like it was like we still have to do X, Y, and Z. Like we still have to keep living, like you still have to keep moving. And I feel like I've really taken that into account. But I think the loudest thing she's given me is just her faith. It really is. She's the person that I mean, I'm not even joking. We had no money, like but we had a rat infested house that we were that we were living in when I was young, and she was like we just started driving around and she was like, ooh, I found an architect's flyer, and she literally like called him and we built this whole house like with nothing. They had nothing in the bank, and she's like, no, like we're gonna make a way, it'll be fine. And so and I tell that story just to say that she really was like, there is nothing that you cannot do if you don't put your mind to it. If you put your mind to it, you have a little bit of faith, like you can accomplish anything. And I'm learning that even more and more as I'm getting older in life.
What a beautiful lesson.
Yeah.
And something, I feel like you carry that and you get to give it to your kids.
Yes.
That's so wonderful.
Absolutely.
Oh,
They're seeing all the beautiful sides of Karen now.
I love all the beautiful sides of Garrett. And I get to know Kristina. Like, how lucky am I?
Yeah. This is so cool. And even like just the doors and the like all the people that I'm getting to meet, this has just been very surreal. Very surreal. I had someone, I know we're about to end it, but I had someone
No,
that told
please,
me,
there's no end.
well, I told like someone messaged me and they're like, hey, I heard your mom's story and how it affected you, and like I don't want my kids to have to go through that, and so I went to rehab. And I've been drug free for 30 days, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is the impact that she's having. Like her legacy is helping other families. And so like, that's it's just so beautiful. And it's so surreal that this is like the life that I get to live now.
I mean, you deserve it. And I think like, obviously we've only talked for like an hour, but I think that's so wonderful. Like, I feel like I know so much of who you are, but to your point, there's a lot of like stigma and people don't talk about things and they're not honest. I mean, that's like why I wanted to build this platform and talk to people like you, and watching you be so vulnerable on TV, I think is such a beautiful thing, because I think people try to like show a certain side of themselves, but like you were raw and you were honest, not only in every aspect of your life, but definitely your grief. And I mean, I connected to that. I know so many other people had. People are going to listen to this and connect to it. Like, it is true. Like, it's just, you get to change people's lives and they get to see themselves in so many ways. Like, that's the whole point of this. Like, that's her legacy. That's her lesson.
And that's what I love is that, again, her legacy, even that dark, moment that, was like the worst times of my life, now it gets to help somebody else. So like there's still meaning in even that tragedy and pain. So I'm very thankful that you were talking to me today and you get to share this with all your listeners. Like I'm so
Oh my God. No, it was so wonderful for me. And I think you're right. There's so much joy and purpose in pain. I guess, is there anything else you want to like say to anyone listening, or about your mom or about yourself?
No, I would just encourage anyone, if you are going through, any type of like, if you're going, if you have a family member that is, struggling with addiction, something I didn't do at all was join some type of like resource group or like, a small group. And there's so many different organizations out there. And I wish that our family was better equipped to like just deal with, to either support her or be able to support ourselves or come together, whatever it is. I wish I knew about that resource earlier. And so if you do have someone that is, struggling with addiction, then I highly recommend finding one of those programs and getting some support yourself.
Oh, you're the best. I
Thanks,
I
Emma.
echo that, and you know what? When I post this episode, I'll try to find some resources and I can share them.
Absolutely. I know if you're in OKC, A Chance to Change is like a local organization,
I'll
and they
I'll
do
post
have
about it.
perfect. Thank you. And they have like little small groups and resources for the family. So, but there's definitely some national ones as well. So,
Oh my
thank you
god,
for
I'm
sharing that,
totally.
Emma.
Oh my god, that's the whole purpose of this. Yeah, I'll share that. This was wonderful. You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you.